John Gill's Exposition of the entire Bible. Introduction to Titus chapter 2. In this chapter, the apostle exhorts Timothy to the discharge of his office with respect to all sorts of persons of every age, sex, condition he was concerned with, giving reasons for it, taken from the nature of the gospel of Christ. He exhorts him in general to insist in his public ministry on those things which were agreeable to sound doctrine. Titus chapter 2, verse 1. And particularly what became aged men and aged women, and young men and young women. Titus chapter 2, verse 2. In all which, both with respect to doctrine and practice, he desires him to be a pattern to them, that so even his very adversaries may be ashamed, having nothing evil to say of him. Titus chapter 2, verse 7. And next he charges him to exhort servants to obey their masters, and to seek to please them, and not contradict them, and to be faithful to them, that so the doctrine of God their Savior, professed by them, might be adorned in all things. Titus chapter 2, verse 9. And the reasons why the apostle would have duty urged on persons of every age, sex, and state are taken from the nature of the gospel being a doctrine of grace and salvation, which was preached to all sorts of persons. Titus chapter 2, verse 11. And from the efficiency of it in teaching men to deny sin and live a holy life in conversation. Titus chapter 2, verse 12. And from an expectation of eternal glory and happiness at the appearance of Christ, which the gospel encourages to. Titus chapter 2, verse 13. And from the end of Christ giving himself for his people and redeeming them from sin, the sum and substance of the gospel, which was that they might be purified and be zealous of good works. Titus chapter 2, verse 14. And these exhortations were to be delivered by Titus with authority, and in such a manner that he might not be despised. Titus chapter 2, verse 15. End of John Gill's introduction to Titus chapter 2.